The opinions expressed on the KrisAnne Hall Show are not necessarily those of the host or station management, but are definitely those of the founders of this nation. Connecting the dots of the Constitution for you like no one else can. The KrisAnne Hall Show. She's an attorney, a disabled U.S. Army veteran, an author, public speaker, mother, pastor's wife, and a patriot. She's KrisAnne Hall.
Any informant that crosses that lady's path has met its match.
Rise and shine, liberty-loving patriots. It is a lovely Monday morning in this great country. Yes, we still have a great country. We have a great country filled with exceptional people. But I'm watching what is going on in this country. And I'm just shaking my head. Shaking my head. I gave my constitutional workshop yesterday in Redding, California. And while we were conducting the workshop, the Veterans March on D.C. was taking place. So we were getting updates along the way, cheering on what we were hearing. These veterans tearing down barriers and dropping them off at the White House. How cool is that? And I'm just wondering, why does it have to take our veterans to do this? Why is this not a Million Man March? Man being a non-gendered term, mind you. I don't want to make our feminists angry. Why does it take our veterans to do this? I'm looking at the pictures from this, and I'm seeing World War II veterans in wheelchairs. I'm seeing Vietnam veterans who are old guys now. Sorry, I don't mean to insult you. Just really. I'm talking relative here. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Now I know there are more veterans than that present, but I'm just saying this started because a bunch of World War II veterans decided they were not going to allow the government to shut us out of our own property. And I have to mention to you, I was very tickled, extremely tickled over watching them take the barricades and move them to the White House. Very tickled. Because that was one of my suggestions. Now, I'm not saying anybody listen to me. I'm just saying it's really cool how we can all think in the same way. Only I wish they'd had taken the barricades and, started barricading off the EPA and the FDA and maybe even the Department of Justice. That would have been so cool. If we could have taken those barricades and barricaded around Eric Holder's car. See, I think we should teach the government what a real shutdown actually looks like. Because you've got all these talking heads freaking out, right? You got John McCain. John McCain today is calling to Joe Biden to come fix this problem. Can I ask you a question? Because I don't know about you. I am fed. I've had enough of John McCain. John McCain needs to go away. He needs to go away. And all of you who are going to jump up and criticize me for calling John McCain a traitor because he's a war veteran, you know what? Catch a snap. Okay? Just catch a snap. I speak to veterans all over this country. I was in the military. My husband was in the military. And I'm speaking to you now, former military people. Because I asked this question last night in my workshop. And I'm going to start asking this question more often to make a point. All of you that were in the military, how many of you served with people in the military that were total idiots? I'm talking about people that were so stupid you wouldn't let them walk your dog, much less trust them with a gun in your presence. Come on now. Come on now. You know they were there. I saw them. You saw them. We saw them. How many of you that were in the military served with people that were just that stupid, who were in command? People that could not lead their way out of a wet paper bag. And then you watch those people, because they were officers, get medals they didn't deserve because they were officers. While your enlisted colleagues, your enlisted servicemen couldn't buy, beg, borrow, or steal a medal when they actually deserved and did they actually did what was necessary to get the medals. And the people who got the medals for what the enlisted people were doing were the officers who did nothing and were too stupid to get them on their own. Come on now. Come on now. You know they were there. You saw them. I spent too many years in the military for you to tell me that's not true. And yet, we run around with this unwarranted, automatic worship of people because they were in uniform. Now, do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I love our veterans. I love our service members. I support our military wholeheartedly. Some of the greatest people I have ever known and will ever know wore that uniform with me. And this does not apply to them. All I'm saying is, isn't it about time we start judging people by what they do rather than what they did? Isn't it about time we start judging people based on what they do and not what they say? I was not there when John McCain was a POW. I don't know what happened. I am told that at the POW reunions, no one will sit with him. I am told that the people that were in the camps with him do not like him. I don't know why that is. I was not there. I'm just saying, I'm not giving a McCain a free pass because of his resume. I don't give anybody a free pass for anything. And John McCain is a traitor to this country. And if the Republican Party does not wake up, you know what? It's consent by silence. You consent to John McCain's behavior. You consent to John McCain's platform, which is purely liberal Democrat, Republican Party. If you say nothing and you continue to fund him, I'm tired of John McCain. You got Lindsey Graham running around calling for the end of the government shutdown. You've got all of these crazy people. You got Paul Ryan calling for the end of the government shutdown. Crying if we default on the debt, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to default on the debt. You got China picking up the propaganda now. What's it like when China starts repeating the same things that our Republicans are repeating? China saying, well, if the U.S. government defaults on their debt, we should seriously consider de-Americanizing the world. Well, of course China would say that. Because the de-Americanizing of the world means the Chinization of the world. Of course they would say that. But why are our own countrymen saying that? Default on the debt will occur only if Washington, D.C. deliberately chooses not to make the interest payments. That's the only way default on the debt will occur. We make plenty of money. Rand Paul on CNN calls out the president for being irresponsible for scaring people with a warning about the debt ceiling. He says the leader of the country should be soothing the markets and saying, we will always pay the interest on our debts. We do have plenty of revenue. We bring in $250 billion a month, and we have a $20 billion interest payment. There's absolutely no reason to ever default. And a good leader would be saying, we will never default. Because we can't default. Do the math. $250 billion a month we bring in revenue. $20 billion in interest payments. We cannot default unless they refuse to pay it. This is this administration's methodology to convince us, uneducated people, to convince us that guess what? We need more government. We need more government so we don't default, and we need more money so we don't default. And since we need more money, we have to raise the debt ceiling. We have to do a continuing resolution, which is not a balanced budget. A continuing resolution is simply an unlawful act because the law requires your government have a balanced budget, and a continuing resolution is an unlawful denial of that requirement. Saying, you know what, we're just going to ignore the law. We're not going to have a balanced budget. What we're going to do is we're just going to increase our debt ceiling a little bit more. Increasing our debt doesn't pay our interest and prevent default, because we can already do that. Increasing our debt makes our children slaves. So are you a slave owner now?
The KrisAnne Hall Show.
When you need electrical services anywhere in the greater Tallahassee area, there's only one name you need to know.
Lawson & Lawson Electric.
For 2 generations, there's only been one company that can handle any electrical project, from new construction to industrial to complete remodels, whether commercial or residential.
Lawson & Lawson Electric.
The reason they've won so many awards is because they've earned your trust with fair, consistent pricing, honesty, integrity, and quality workmanship they stand behind. That's why the best customer service experience you're ever going to have with an electrical company is with
Lawson & Lawson Electric.
The good guys. Guess who does the electrical work for so many local restaurants, department stores, retail centers, pharmacies, schools, churches, and too many others to mention?
Let me guess. Lawson & Lawson Electric.
Now you got it.
Check them out online at llelectrical.com. Call 562-4111. That's 562-4111 for Lawson & Lawson Electric. License number EC1 3002150.
Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep here, where we're celebrating our 13th birthday. That's right, it was 13 years ago this month that we opened our doors. And to celebrate, we're offering every new vehicle at $13 over invoice all month long. You heard right, just $13 over cost. And with 4 different brands and over 30 different models, what better way to give back to those who made us who we are than to make the first payment just $13 too? So happy 13th birthday to you from Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
When you need quality residential or commercial fencing at a super affordable price, call Ultimate Fence and Deck. Ultimate Fence and Deck is locally owned, serving the Tallahassee area for over a decade. They specialize in chain link, wood, PVC, aluminum, and wrought iron fences, as well as gates, railings, and fence maintenance. Plus, they're fully licensed and insured and give free estimates. If you can dream it or draw it, they can build it. Call 222-5446. 222-5446. Online at ultimatefencing.com.
The Gun Vault and Pawn's new no-haggle pricing beats every other place in town. Every new gun will be sold at cost plus $50. Brand new Glocks starting at $499. AR-15s under $650. Unlike the big box stores, the Gun Vault and Pawn accepts your trade-in towards your purchase. The Gun Vault and Pawn, 1660 North Monroe Street in the Lake Ella Public Shopping Center. Call 391-7651. The Gun Vault and Pawn, paying cash for guns, gold, and jewelry.
Doral Bank Florida pledges to serve customers with genuine care and concern and to serve our markets as a generous corporate citizen.
In Tallahassee, that approach is embodied by our commercial lender, Jack Kane. Jack's a valuable asset given his extensive banking experience and outstanding reputation, and he truly models Doral's commitment to community service.
If you're working to acquire, expand, or develop a business, Jack Kane is a good guy to know. He's a solid banker and he's good people.
Doral Bank Florida, home of genuine community banking. 914-2525. Member FDIC.
Do you take your car to a restaurant for an oil change? No. So why do you take your printing to an office supply or shipping store? Jason Butera here. The Printery is your locally owned full-service printing company offering free pickup and delivery, same-day turnaround, and expertise you can trust for all your printing needs. Call the Printery today and make your printing problems a thing of the past. The Printery, home of 36-cent color copies every day. From business cards to banners, if it's ink on paper, we've got it covered. 877-6418.
You have a choice when it comes to repairing your car. Choose Capital City Collision Center on Lake Bradford Road in the shadows of Doak Campbell. Scott Holland has over 20 years of repair experience, and Dan Hendrickson has over 20 years experience as an insurance claim adjuster. You'll love the easy, honest, and hassle-free atmosphere. Plus, all work is warranted for as long as you own the car.
This is Scott Holland
and Dan Hendrickson reminding you to choose Capital City Collision.
Because we'll be by your side when you wreck your ride.
Call 575-9202.
I want my company's network to be safer and more reliable.
Do you want to deal with multiple vendors?
No.
Are per-user fees and added feature costs okay?
No.
How about solutions that are hard to install and use?
No.
Offshore or automated phone tree support okay?
No.
Then yes, we can help.
Barracuda Networks offers the largest family of powerful, affordable security, networking, and storage solutions designed to protect business users, apps, and data. All from a single source that's easy to do business with. Protect your business. Visit barracuda.com/product to try any free for 30 days.
Hi, this is John Greenhut. If you can have a bright white smile in 5 minutes, would I get your attention? Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten your teeth in 5 minutes. Power Swabs whitens teeth on average 2 shades in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days. To try Power Swabs risk-free, dial 1-800-925-2393. I guarantee your friends will love your movie star white smile. Try it risk-free, 1-800-925-2393. That's 1-800-925-2393.
The KrisAnne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
Hey, Americans. This morning, we're just going to get educated. That's all we're doing this morning. We are just going to get educated. Because we're lacking it. We're lacking it. I'm watching what's going on in America. This whole continuing resolution thing, this whole default on the debt, working the media into a frenzy, giving our politicians a ridiculous platform because we don't understand what this is. Now, my friend Pat here on Facebook sent me this really cool thing. Just a little blurb. Default explanation for dummies. Listen to this, because this is just exactly what this is. The debt ceiling is like your credit card limit. The payment due is the minimum payment required. We just have to pay the interest. Raising the debt ceiling only allows you to charge more. It has nothing to do with your minimum payment. But hey, it will. It will have something to do with your minimum payment. Because you see, we can pay our minimum payment now. But we don't want to increase our credit limit, or we're going to charge up more. And then our minimum payment will go up. Because that's what happens when you give irresponsible children credit cards. You give irresponsible children credit cards, and they'll spend that free money. Because after all, it's not their money, is it? I mean, what concern do you have about spending money when it's never yours and you never have to pay it back? All you got to do is pay the interest. What kind of an irresponsible person measures the amount of money they can charge by whether they can pay the interest or not, instead of paying off the debt? What I'm saying here, America, is this. We have irresponsible, immoral people in Congress. And anyone, I don't care, R, D, Q, Z behind their name, anyone who would vote for a continuing resolution and a raising of the debt ceiling is an immoral, irresponsible person. You've heard me say this, and I will keep saying this until we hear somebody in Congress actually repeating this. I am going to say this until you are so sick of it that you can't help but repeat it in your sleep. Thomas Paine calls people like that selfish, immoral parents. Those people who want for a continuing resolution, who want to raise our debt ceiling, are simply saying, I need to have peace in my day at all cost. Don't make me inconvenienced. Don't make me have to do anything unpleasant. And what they're saying is, give me peace in my day so that my child will pay for my troubles. So then what do you get, right? What do you get? You get immoral people in charge of your debt spending who are not concerned about how much debt you have. They're only concerned with paying the interest, which will grow until we can't pay it. Why can't we have people in government who actually have morality, who actually love their children, who are actually willing to say, if there be trouble, let it be in my day, so that my child may have peace? When are we going to see people on Fox? When are we going to see people in the mainstream media calling out these wicked, wicked politicians for what they really are? Any increase of the debt ceiling is servitude of our children. We don't need a million veteran march. We need the American people en masse to converge on Washington, D.C. and show them what a real shutdown is. A real shutdown. Hey, it's time for the American people to collect on their debt. It is time for us to be the debt collectors and start throwing these criminals in prison. Hey, I'm just saying, it's up to us.
The KrisAnne Hall Show.
You only have one chance to make a good first impression, and that's why your locally owned and operated Stewardship Dry Cleaners has so many convenient Tallahassee locations to serve you. Go to stewardshipdrycleaners.com for coupons and locations.
Hello, this is Bobby with Bobby Nita Gospel Music, coming to you on Sunday afternoons. This coming Sunday we'll be coming on at 1 p.m. Stay tuned with us now at 1 p.m. Be ready for some good Southern Bluegrass Gospel music.
Day 14 of the government shutdown, but more importantly, the nation could default on its bills this coming Thursday. Congress still trying to iron out its differences.
Republicans have given up demands to defund or change Obamacare, but Democrats are pushing for an end to most of the spending cuts from the sequester. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid and the Republican leader Mitch McConnell have been negotiating for both sides, but time is running out.
ABC's Damon Bradley, cautious optimism. There will be a deal before the deadline Thursday. In London, 4 people being questioned about being arrested after being arrested on terror charges. Bottle of dry ice exploded a restroom at LAX, the Los Angeles airport, causing a scare. No arrest. Researchers say high levels of the chemical BPA may raise the risk of miscarriages in some women. In California, an elderly hunter survived 18 days in the forest by eating small animals and covering himself with leaves to stay warm. Still number one, the box office, Gravity, another $44 million. Doug Limerick, ABC News.
ABC Network News on Freedom 93 FM is brought to you by Kraft Nissan.
I got the blues. My check engine light is on. I got the blues. This old car won't last too long. I'm needing sensors and hoses, brake pads and fluids. Gotta find some place I can afford that knows just how to do it. I got the blues.
Don't get caught with a case of bad car blues. Take your ride to Auto Experts with 2 locations, 2815 Capitol Circle Northeast and 3846 North Monroe at Fred George Road. Chris Hackney and his qualified staff will fix the problems and get you back on the road for less than the big chain shop. From oil changes to overhauls, alternators to ACs, Auto Experts will take away those bad car blues.
Went to Auto Experts. I'm no longer feeling blue. They got my old car running just like it used to do. Auto Expert Service Center. That's who I gotta thank. They got me back on the road. I still got money in the bank. Auto Experts.
Auto Experts Auto Service Center, Capitol Circle Northeast and North Monroe at Fred George. Call 536-7237.
Auto and homeowners insurance that's right on target. That's what you get when you call Farm Bureau Insurance, 671-3276. That's 671-FARM. Here today, here tomorrow. With Farm Bureau, you can't miss.
Hey, this is Buddy from Dents Unlimited, where you get up to $500 towards any insurance claim. For over 15 years, we've been painting your vehicles. We're still doing collision repair, but now you have the option of trading it in for a newer one. We now offer auto and truck sales. We've moved to a new facility on North Monroe and Fred George. Dents Unlimited is now, drumroll please, Autos Unlimited. At Autos Unlimited, we have a great selection of vehicles priced under $10,000. We have vehicles as low as $1,500. Guaranteed financing, extended warranties available, and no credit application is refused. Not only do we have a great selection, but when you buy a vehicle at Autos Unlimited, your first oil change is free. That's right, I said free. As always, you get up to $500 towards any insurance claim. Check us out at autosoftally.com or call 671-3368 now. Autos Unlimited, your car's sweet home.
October 22nd, the Car Chasers are back on CNBC Prime.
Cash talks and everything else walks.
They find, fix, and flip cars with passion.
I got skills that'll pay the bills.
Putting their own money on the line and revving up the big bucks.
I got a deal for you. I'm all ears.
The Car Chasers, October 22nd, 10 Eastern. CNBC at night is the new CNBC Prime.
Booyah! In the bag, baby.
When business is a gamble, it's all about the hustle.
Stop just dreaming about a different future. Go after it. If you're a technical thinker with the ambition to pursue your education, look to a leader in technology education, ITT Technical Institute. Call 1-866-436-8060. ITT Tech teaches skills and knowledge that can be used to pursue entry-level careers in our technology-driven culture. Call for an ITT Tech brochure at 1-866-436-8060. Classes are forming now. 1-866-436-8060.
The opinions expressed on the KrisAnne Hall Show are not necessarily those of the host or station management, but are definitely those of the founders of this nation. The KrisAnne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
Do you know what I find quite ironic? about this whole government shutdown. I'm just listening to the news. I know you hear the news. I hear the same things that you hear during the breaks. And I'm listening to the news, and the very first thing is, government will default on its debt. Palm to forehead, beating head on desk. Oh, how in the world do you defeat this kind of stuff? How do you defeat massive miseducation? What do? You know what? I just keep teaching. You've got to help me. You've got to help me. Go to my Facebook page. There's a post on my Facebook page that has been seen over 10,000 times now. You can make it 20,000. Make it 20,000 that teaches this default on the debt lie. We got to get the truth out. Got to get the truth. You know what I find ironic is this whole thing over this default and debt and payment of this and payment of that. In the midst of a completely unconstitutional federal government spending money on things that should not even exist. There should be no Department of Education. There should be no EPA. There should be no drug enforcement agency. There should be no federal agencies like this. They are not authorized. They are unconstitutional. And the fact that we spend money to keep them operating is absurd in the light of all this argument of defaulting on the debt, which we cannot default on unless we choose not to pay the interest. But what I find even more frustrating is all of this talk between the executive and the Senate and the House about spending on this and spending on that. Hey, can I mention to you Article 1, Section 7 puts the House of Representatives in charge of the purse strings, which gives them the unilateral power to refuse to pay anything. Refuse. Not my words. James Madison's words. Remember him? We're told he's the father of the Constitution. He might have a little authority on how things are supposed to work. In Federalist Papers 58, James Madison says, the House of Representatives cannot only refuse, but they alone can propose the supplies requisite for the support of government. They, in a word, he says, hold the purse. He continues and says, the power over the purse may, in fact, be regarded as the most complete and effectual weapon with which any constitution can arm the immediate representatives of the people for obtaining a redress of every grievance and for carrying into effect every just and salutary measure. Do you hear that? The power over the purse given to the House of Representatives was given to the House of Representatives because they represented us. They were supposed to be the defenders of the Ninth Amendment. The House of Representatives, belonging to the people, having the power over the purse, who not only can not only refuse, but they alone can propose. This is what Justice Roberts was saying. In his, I don't know, what do you call his ruling, his opinion. In his opinion that is completely and wholly inaccurate, he gave a last-ditch effort. I don't know what he did. I don't know what kind of information they had on him. I don't know what kind of threat they had over Justice Roberts. But he wrote that, I believe, because he inserted a loophole for us. A little light to the end of the tunnel that didn't have to be there. He called Obamacare a tax. And because he called Obamacare a tax, the House of Representatives can not only refuse, but they alone can propose supplies requisite for the support of the government. Roberts was saying, hey, I'm calling this a tax so you know that the House of Representatives are the only ones who can keep this going. People, Get a hold of your representatives. Let them know we don't need the Senate and we don't need the president. The House of Representatives alone can refuse Obamacare. And that power was given to the House so that we would have the most complete and effectual weapon to redress our grievances and to carry into effect every just and salutary measure. This killing of Obamacare is a just measure. Even John McCain has admitted that this is a bane on this country. But John McCain has no say in it, because Article 1, Section 7 says that the House will and the Senate may. The Senate may get on board, but it's not necessary. Our framers gave all the power to the House of Representatives because they wanted the people to have all the power. Can I mention to you, you need to take power back? Can I mention to you that the only way we're going to win this battle is if we get educated? Stop prolonging this default debt. Blah, 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 blah. Even our conservative media is repeating this garbage. Why is it that Rand Paul is alone up there talking about this? Why is it that Ted Cruz and Mike Lee are the only ones standing with the veterans? Now, I know Mr. Gomer was out there helping them tear down the barriers earlier. I don't know if he was at that rally or not, but he wasn't reported that he was there. Every Republican should have been there, Republican Party. RNC, why are you not condemning your people for not being there? You do not stand with your veterans now. Is that what this is? I'm just saying, King Barry pulls down the barricades so the illegal aliens can have a rally on the mall and trash it. But when our veterans go to redress the government of their grievances and express their right to petition and their right to assemble and protest, what does King Barry do? He flies off in his helicopter and calls out the riot police on 60, 70, 80-year-old veterans in wheelchairs. Reports on Facebook of these riot goons in uniform hitting women with billy clubs, pushing children around. Is this the government that you're asking for, America? Is this the government that we have to raise the debt ceiling so they can continue spending and hiring goons like this? I'm looking at these pictures. You can find pictures, the real pictures, because the media did not cover this. You've got to go to the new media. You got to go to the people who are actually there. The real committees of correspondence, not Drudge, not Fox, who are not reporting the truth. The Blaze actually had pictures. Thank God for that. I don't care what you think about Glenn Beck, but at least sometimes the Blaze has the truth out there. Breitbart had some of the truth out there. You need to support these medias. You need to go to each other's Facebook pages and share these pictures. I'm going to be sharing some of these pictures today. Some of my favorite pictures. We need to be about supporting this. But my question is, when you see these pictures of these people in uniform with zip ties and clubs in their hands and riot gear and armored vehicles called out for our veterans. You have to ask yourself, what kind of people are these people? What kind of person do you have to be to put on a uniform and go and stand in front of veterans with zip ties in your hand and a smile on your face? What kind of person are you that will push veterans back with barricades? What kind of person are you? Hey, I already told you when I started this show, you don't get a pass for anything. And I was a prosecutor for 7 years. Some of the best people I know are law enforcement officers that would literally die for you. But if you're in uniform and you don't call out these people and distinguish yourself from them, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you to say, hey, those people give us a bad name, that's not us? What kind of America do you want? What kind of America do you want your children to grow up in? Is this it? Is this the kind of America that you want, where people don't know the difference between a continuing resolution and a budget? Where people don't understand between payment of interest and an increase of spending? Where people allow criminals to assemble under the Constitution, but allow veterans who gave everything so you could have that right, they don't allow them to assemble? Call out the riot police on them? Look at the pictures from the illegal immigrants converging on the mall, littering and trashing the place, and we paid police officers to pick up trash for them. We didn't beat them with billy clubs. We didn't call out the riot police when they were trashing the mall. We paid law enforcement officers to be garbage men. But our veterans come out, and we have to beat them down. Let's get educated, America. Let's really, really get educated. This is not time to recede. This is the time to be resolved. Obamacare must go down. Your Republicans are caving. It must be defeated, or you will be enslaved today. Get educated. Let's do something. Don't quit.
The KrisAnne Hall Show.
Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Our new lifetime warranty is a game changer for buying cars in Tallahassee and Thomasville. You already know it extends the factory powertrain warranty for unlimited miles and unlimited time. But here are the facts. Kraft Nissan's lifetime warranty is backed by Great American Insurance Company, an A-rated company that was founded in 1872 with billions in assets. The same company that underwrites GM's GMPP and Ford's Gap Insurance. Kraft Nissan's lifetime warranty comes with every new Nissan we sell and most pre-owned vehicles that are 5 years old or newer with 50,000 miles or less. While Kraft Nissan Service Department will certainly exceed your expectations and keep your records, you're not required to service with us. To maintain the warranty, you must perform the manufacturer's recommended maintenance and keep your records. You can do that at any licensed repair shop in the U.S. or Canada. It's that easy. What's the catch? There are no catches, hidden fees, or gimmicks. Kraft Nissan provides this product as an added value to our customers for doing business with us. The only catch? You have to buy your next vehicle from Kraft Nissan. Kraft Nissan, 3277 Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Would you trust your eyes to the lowest bidder?
There's nothing wrong with saving money on eye care, but before you settle on the lowest price, make sure you're getting the best value.
Visit Tallahassee Eye Center just off Mahan Drive and Capitol Circle Northeast. They make sure your eyes are examined by a doctor of optometry who isn't just there to sell you glasses.
At Tallahassee Eye Center, they'll provide you with the right prescription and thoroughly check your eyes for cataracts, glaucoma, and other diseases that could seriously impact your health and your vision. And they always provide quality eye care, no matter how old or young you are.
So don't just settle for the lowest price on vision care for your family. The dollars you save may not be worth the price you pay.
I'm Dr. Susan Whaley. At Tallahassee Eye Center, Dr. Meckler and I offer the most technologically advanced eye care available. Plus, we have a great selection of fashionable glasses or contact lenses, so you and your family can enjoy a lifetime of good vision.
Call 216-2020, 216-2020, online at TallahasseeEyecenter.com.
I'm David Butler, owner and president of Butler Voss Insurance. The staff at Butler Voss Insurance Agency would like to say thank you, Tallahassee, for allowing us to serve your insurance needs for over 50 years.
Butler Voss Insurance is a local, family-owned and operated business. They have a dedicated, friendly staff with extensive knowledge of auto, home, business, and life insurance products. Butler Voss Insurance believes the customer always comes first. Call 850-222-2340, 222-2340, online at butler-voss.com.
Hey, boss, there it is. A dream come true. A house with a cable company alarm system.
Yeah, now let's hurry up and hit it before they give it back and get Safe Touch.
So, boss, what's the weakest point on these alarms? The fact that they only come with 3 windows or doors, or the fact that they have no smash and crash coverage?
Yeah, all I know is it makes our job a lot easier.
No kidding.
All right, here's the plan. You kick open the door, I'll bust up the all-in-one security system.
Got it. This is gonna be so easy. I love these cheap alarms. So, boss, when we steal the TVs, does that mean they'll be paying for 2 services they can't use?
Yeah, we'll make a bundle on a bundle.
Good one, boss.
I love bundling.
The security is no game. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. Only Safe Touch has a 45-second or less guaranteed verified response via our Safe Touch two-way communicator. And every Safe Touch system comes with at least 8 openings or more.
Call 385-9511 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EFT.
The KrisAnne Hall Show. She's Liberty's lobbyist.
I'm the smiling face on your TV. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Wake up, America. Wake up, America. Is this the country that you want to live in? I'm just saying. Wake up, America. Where are you? Where are you today? You know, we can easily dismiss this stuff as you know, it'll go away and our kids can take care of it. But guess what? We're quickly approaching the moment where we're going to live in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask you, and is this the America you want to live in? And what are you willing to do to stop it? We have peaceful means to stop it now. We absolutely do. We have the means to stop this. Congress can defund Obamacare because they have the right and the power to do that. They don't need the Senate, and the president will have nothing to say about it. He can go throw his sucker in the dirt and cry like the whining baby that he is. But he'll have to get over it. Are you going to wait until there's some convenient terrorist attack that puts us under martial law and we are actually enslaved and we can't do anything? Patrick Henry said, they call us weak, but when will we be stronger? We have our veterans converging on Washington, D.C. I'm getting ready to fly today. I don't know if you've noticed the hoarseness in my voice this morning, but I've been teaching all week in California. I had 2 6-hour workshops back to back this weekend. Can I mention to you I'm exhausted? But it's okay. It's okay because I'm fighting for my children. Hey, I'm fighting for your children too. Because we got to get educated. We'll never do anything until we get educated. I look at these people, over 100 of them yesterday in Redding, California, learning the truth. And I'm looking in their eyes and I'm watching them get educated. I'm watching the light bulbs go on. And I'm seeing people who are now ready to do something because they now are armed with the truth. Jonathan, my producer's going to play a clip for you really quick. I want to ask you, is this the country you want to live in? Listen to this. This is what the TSA is saying in your airports. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Pay particular attention to your luggage and personal belongings. Unattended luggage will, and personal belongings may be treated as a danger to the facility. Do not be persuaded by strangers or individuals you do not know well to take articles aboard your flight. You are also reminded that any inappropriate remarks or jokes concerning security may result in your arrest. We appreciate your cooperation while these measures are in effect.
There it is.
Excuse me?
There it is.
Are you stinking kidding me? Are you stinking kidding me? I have to pay for an airline ticket in which I will fly out of an airport where the government threatens me over what I'll say? Do you know what that does to me? That makes me want to run around through the airport and joke about bombs. It really does. I want to see them arrest me because of words. Because I got freedom of speech. And that's not the same as yelling fire in a crowded theater. Which, by the way, you might disagree with me, I don't think is an exception to the First Amendment. Because you see, if you yell fire in a crowded theater and nothing happens, what's the crime? But if you yell fire in a crowded theater and something happens and people die, you have committed an act of negligence, not a violation of someone's free speech, but an act of negligence that resulted in should result in criminal charges. Your criminal negligence is the crime, not the words fire. So don't tell me about you can't yell fire in a crowded theater and that's a limitation on my First Amendment. That is not a limitation on my First Amendment, because if I yell fire in a crowded theater and nothing happens, there's no crime. And joking about the TSA. I don't even have to mention bombs. Can I just simply joke about how stupid they are? Can I simply joke about what tyrannical pawns they are? What immoral people they are to take a job to do that? Can I just joke about that, or will that get me arrested too? Can I joke about the silly boxes that I have to put my stuff in? Can I joke about the naked scanners? Will that get me arrested now too? I'm just trying to ask you, is this the kind of government you want to live in? We are fast approaching the stage of the ultimate inversion, the stage where the government is free to do anything it pleases, while the citizens may act only by permission, which is the stage of the darkest periods of human history, the stage of rule by brute force. When does fiction become truth, Ayn Rand? When fiction is not fiction, but historical fact. If ever a time should come when vain and aspiring men shall possess the highest seats in our government, our country will stand in need of its experienced patriots to prevent its ruin. Sam Adams. That's all I'm asking for. Experienced patriots to prevent our ruin. Don't sit back and say, well, we're screwed up now. We might as well just ride it to the end and pray for a revolution to get it over with. Why don't you be a real hero? Why don't you be a real patriot and do what's right because it's right and stand against this tyranny so our children won't have to go to revolution? Because that revolution you're waiting for is not yours. It belongs to our children. And I, for one, will teach 6 hours a day, every day, until I die. Sleeping 3 hours a night if I have to. If that's what it takes my child from going to war. I'm asking you, what are you going to do?